Yes, good evening and welcome to this fourth workshop. And again, I would like to thank you all for your resilience. Well, I was going to say tomorrow, but anyway, we're doing it today. We wanted to map out our research landscape, and when I do the presentation, you will get to appreciate what it is. And why this is especially important is that it helps us with planning our activities. One of the things that we should be targeting is graduation. And I'm assuming that we're all planning for graduation. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Prof. Can you see it?
Yes.
Class, can you see my screen? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I will presume that means yes. The problem is I'm not hearing, I'm not getting feedback, but if you can hear me. So what is our target? Our target is to graduate, and realistically speaking, your graduation is the week of 8th January to 12th. Let's say 8th to 12th January 2024. That is when your cohort will be graduating. And for you to be able to stand a chance of graduating in January 2024, it means that you should be doing your defenses, dissertation defense. You'll be doing a dissertation defense, let me correct this, around October, November 2023. So that is the time frame that you should be working with. However, for you to be able to defend October, November 2023, you will need to have submitted dissertation submission. You will need to have submitted your dissertation in latest July, August 2020. So in other words, we have how many months left? These are probably 8 months to have our work ready for submission and examination. Now, there is a challenge that there is a problem with many of you students. Well, before you submit your dissertation, you're supposed to put in your letter of intention submit. What is the letter of intention submit? The letter of intention submit is a letter that you submit to the office of the deputy principal. Yeah, so letter of intention to submit, submitted to deputy principal's office. And what this letter does is that it activates the process of appointing your examiners. So it activates the process of appointing your examiners. Now, the problem that happens is that many of you put in this letter of intention submit when you are submitting your dissertation. And the problem with that is, if you do that, if you wait to submit your letter of intention to submit together with your dissertation, it means your book will stay here until your examiners are appointed. And so I usually advise that you submit this letter of intention submit about 2-3 months before your intended submission. So that being the case, we should be targeting April, May 2023 for you to be able to do this. As I have mentioned, when you put this letter of intention submit, all you are indicating is that in the next 3 months, I am going to submit my dissertation. And so for many supervisors, they would want you to do this when you have a first draft. So you could as well say that your first draft should be ready by, so you can see how our timeline is getting more and more compact. So many supervisors would want you to have this first draft before they can sign your letter of intention submit. Other supervisors don't mind, but the intention of this letter of intention submit is really to kickstart the process. And believe you me, this is a long process. So the sooner you do it, the better. So what happens is that you write to the deputy principal, indicate to her that, or whoever is the deputy principal at the time, that you are intending to submit and you want to submit within the next 3 months, intending to submit, and you want to submit within the next 3 months. And what will happen is that the deputy principal will write to the dean, which is my office, informing me of the candidate who wants to submit in the next 3 months and advising me to appoint examiners. We do not do it immediately we receive your letter. We wait for sufficient business. And so this whole process could take a month or so. When we sit in the meeting, we appoint the Research and Graduate School Training Committee. What are we going to do here? We are going to appoint your external examiners and appoint 2 of your internal examiners. We also appoint your Viva committee. So this is the School Research and Graduate Training Committee. Now, we have improved these days. We have this meeting twice a semester, but previously it used to be held once a semester. So, and I'm bringing this out because it has an implication on how fast your work can be evaluated. So when you say that dissertations in Makerere University take forever, part of the reason is because you've put in your letter of intention submit late, or you've submitted your letter of intention submit together with your dissertation. And as long as your dissertation arrives before your examiners have been appointed, it will sit in the deputy principal's office until this is done. And like as I've mentioned, from the time I receive your letter to the time the minutes are ready, that can be a month and a half. So these are the inefficiencies that we have to deal with, the inefficiencies we have to work with. And I am sharing this information so that we are better prepared and we can plan our year appropriately. In effect, we want you to die a little in this period. And so if we are targeting to have your first draft in March, April, it means that you have pretty much you have about to do your work. And if you're to, that's if and 2 actually, which is for semester 2 is from mid-Feb to June 2023, and semester 2 exams. So just know that in this period, you won't be able to have any defenses. We don't usually have any meetings or defenses during examination period. Semester 2 exams are 29th May to 18th June 2023. So you can be sure that we will probably have a RGT meeting probably around May or so. So you would want to target your letter of intention to submit early May or so. Because once you've had that meeting, the next RGT meeting will probably be in past recess, during the recess term. So let's have these timelines in mind so that we can plan our work properly. And so chances are that you'll have your progress or semester master's seminars. You'll probably have them around April, May next year. And for many supervisors, once they're convinced of the progress of your work, that's when they sign your letter of intention to submit. Because for you to sign in your letter of intention, submit your letter of intention, you'll need a signature of your supervisors. And this semester, we're in semester 1. Semester 1, I think semester 1 exams are going to be from 16th January to 5th Feb. Okay, that is semester 1. And so I think you are going to be having, for those of you who have not had your defenses, you'll be having your proposal defenses, different departments will do it differently. I'm told some may have already had their defenses, but in general, it will be around December or January 20. So what does this mean? It means that your proposals should be ready by mid-December. And so this is how I would think you should be planning to do your timelines for your work. And if you are able to do this and to stick to this schedule, yeah. Oh, sorry. I think the proposal defenses December 2022. Yeah, this is this year. So there's a question here. Yeah. So class, this is the sort of trajectory I am proposing for you, charting out for you, that if you want to graduate in January 2024, to ensure that you finish your work in 2 years, you will need to have your defense in October, November 2023. If you are lucky, we might be able to allow defenses in December, but to be safe, you want to have your defense in October, November 2023. And that means you need to plan to have your dissertation submitted in July or August of next year. And to make sure that by the time your dissertation comes, your examiners have been identified, you need to have in your letter of intention to submit. And as I have said, the letter is submitted to the deputy principal, and it activates the process of identifying your examiners. And so when we're meeting in the School Research and Graduate Training Committee, we appoint external examiners. And by the time we've appointed them, we will have contacted them, asked them for their availability. And once they have assented to that, in the meeting, we will appoint the internal examiners, and the Viva committee. And so this submission of letter of intention, the submission of the letter of intention submit is very, very crucial. Please do not let this time slip by you, because if by May we do not sit to appoint examiners, it means we will probably have the next meeting after the semester 2 exams. As you can see, that is February, June. Yeah, we will probably meet after June, maybe July. And if your book comes before we have appointed your examiners, unfortunately, it will stay there. Your books will stay there until we have appointed the examiners, and there's a domino effect. And chances are that because your examiners are appointed late, it means that your books will go out late, your results will come out late, and so on and so forth. And so our target should be to be ready to have our proposal defenses, maybe December, January. And for that to happen, we need to have them ready by mid-December. So my question is, how close are we to be able to do that? For us to be able to do that, we need to do a lot of work. As we have been saying from the beginning of the week, most importantly, we need to start by identifying the area that we want to research on. And I want to give you an assignment, and this is the assignment for your intended area of research. Explore for relevant literature, identify at least 5 journals and as you read, for the moment, I'm sure your ideas are a bit scattered or too broad. I want you to take some time, read through literature, and try to identify literature which resonates with the area that you'd want to do your research. And I would advise that you get at least 5 journals. And we had previously said Friday next week, but I'm thinking Friday is a bit far. And maybe we can meet on Wednesday, or should we stick with Friday? And I would like to take us through, I would like us to go through the process of extracting information from literature and working with you to see how from the literature we build a body of knowledge, and how that will guide us to identify objectives, identify our problem statement, identify our objective, and how that literature can guide us in developing our methodology. We will not be able to do all of that next week, but at least we shall get started. And I would like after that to give you maybe a week or two to go have an opportunity, go through the literature. By the time we meet, I'm hoping we will have done maybe 20 or 30 journals, and we'll be in a very good position to define our problem statement, our objectives, and our methodology. And the aim is that by the middle of December or so, we shall have our proposals ready to defend. Now, the beauty with having a well done proposal is that if you write your proposal well enough, if you write your proposal well enough, you will already have your 3 chapters ready. When you don't do your proposal well enough, it means you have to go through this process afresh. But if you write your proposal well enough, you already have your 3 chapters, your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. The only thing that will change will be your tense, because when you're doing your proposal, you're writing about what you are going to do. And in your final research, you'll be writing about what you have done. And so once you do these things thoroughly well, once you do them exhaustively well, it means that you will already know what to do. You will have identified your data sources, you have identified your methods, you have identified all the important aspects of your research. And once once you've had your defense, you will now be ready to go and collect your data. You will know what data you're looking for. You will know how to analyze it. You will know how to do your discussions. And maybe when we have our seminar next semester, it will be about how do we put all of this together? What are the things we need to look out for? And hopefully it will prepare us to be able to complete this task in 2 years, which is why we're having this seminar, so that we can improve on our throughput. Unfortunately, where I am, there is no power, so I'm hoping that we won't stretch too long. We've not had power at the university the whole day, so I'm actually taking the class in darkness. Do we have any questions about what we have discussed so far? We'll keep the timelines there. So where are the areas of inefficiency in our method? In this process. Truth of the matter is that delays in your research can be on your side, the student side, but it can also be in our systems. Students delay to make their proposals, students delay to after they've been approved. It's not unusual. Instead of having your proposal defense this semester, some of you get so busy and instead do your proposal defenses when people are doing progress. Another area of inefficiency is you don't collect data on time. And because you don't collect your data on time, you don't process it on time, you also, as I said, domino effect. The lag happens. Other people, because your proposal hasn't been well enough, you end up going to the field, not knowing what data to collect, collecting the wrong data, or collecting data and not knowing what to do with it. I once met a student who said, I have all this data and I don't know what to do with it. Why? Because when you're formulating your proposal, you did not sort out many of these things. So a very good proposal is not just an obligation. Your proposal is supposed to chart your roadmap. It is your compass. It is your map. It is your guide. And so if you don't fashion it out properly, it's going to have a knock-on effect in your ability to collect, process, and analyze. Another area of inefficiency is when you delay to put in your letter of intention submit. Very, very, very important. Previously, it was not unusual for your letter, your dissertation to spend 6 months or even a year before going out. Why? Because truth be told, sometimes when your book comes, especially those days when we used to have one meeting a semester, your letter comes after we've had a meeting. It means that we would discuss. It means that we would discuss your issue in the following semester. And by the time we have that meeting, we need to have contacted your examiners. They need to have agreed. And if there's a delay in that area, it means your books will stay here. So please endeavor to ensure that your letters of intention submit are in at least 2-3 months before you submit your dissertation. And the other challenge we have is sometimes we do get delays from the examiners. Sometimes we do get delays from our examiners. Previously, they used to be given 3 months to mark, which is too much. I've been an external examiner for, like South Africa. Even for PhD, I'm only given 1 month. Yeah. and they're already knocking. By the last week, they're knocking on my door. So we have tried to improve on that. These days, we are trying also to give our examiners 1 month. But truth be told, sometimes that's where the delay is. But usually, even as we appoint your external examiner and your two internal examiners, maybe I should also mention this, for you to pass, yes, for you to pass, your external examiner and at least one of your internal examiners needs to have passed you. And you can be sure, if your external examiner is not happy with the quality of your work, you will have to resubmit your dissertation and improve on the aspects that he has advised you to work on. If both your internal examiners don't pass you, you will also have to address their comments, resubmit, and improve your dissertation to their satisfaction. If one external and one internal pass you and the other internal doesn't pass you, you will be able to go to the next stage of your viva defense. And so the aim is to have work of good quality to be able to be allowed to come for your viva. Your viva is chaired by me, the dean, and 3 or so examiners. And we have had many cases where external and internal examiners have passed you, but when you come before the viva committee, we do not pass. Why is that? What are those cases? Some of you will know, we use what we call bachuba, but it does work for you. You do not know your work, you cannot explain it, you know, all that stuff. So that happens. Or sometimes you may be lucky, your external and internal examiners pass you, but for you, when you come for your defense, you do not show enough cause for us to pass you. So that makes our masters a lot more tricky because of these intricacies. You need to be able to pass your external examiner, the internal examiners, as well as your viva committee. So you can see why this is a long process. Your defense should, if you submit in July, August, hopefully by September, October, heard from your examiner. God willing, you have passed. God willing, you have whatever. By October, November, we should have concluded the topic of your viva defenses. And if there are any corrections, you have this buffer period, October, November, to improve so that we can submit your names. Actually, I should mention that if we're going to have January, by mid, we shall be submitting graduation lists. If you're lucky, December. That's when we submit our graduation list. And if your defense occurs after that, we will not be able to submit your name for graduation. However, you will be able to get your award letter. And so with that, you should be able to, with that, you should be able to appear on the graduation list. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is a trajectory of how I want you to look at your work, and how I am hoping this can guide you as you start your work. Any questions? Okay. So please remember the assignment. For your intended area of research. So please, between now and Wednesday, look for what you want to do, start reading, see what people are doing in the area of what you are doing. And at least by the time you come, we should have at least 5 journals. And let us at least have 5 journals, each of you, and we shall go systematically on how to extract information, how to come up with the headings for our research, and it will give us the starting point for our staff. So we shall meet on 16th November 2023. I will circulate the link for then. Yeah, so with those remarks, I'd like to bring this meeting to an end. Let's touch base on Wednesday when you have your journals, and we will take it from there. So thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Prof, and good evening to you.